Hello everybody, welcome back to another airport update here, Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. We have maybe a shorter airport update here. Starting in Terminal 2, we have a nice lineup over in the regional section, so we're going to finish over there. This update is based on Mother's Day, May 14th at 12 around noon time here at the airport. So without further ado, we'll get started. In the back there, we have the CRJs 737-800 in the Tide Pod livery without the 40th anniversary sticker. This one came in from Orlando, and it will be heading out to San Francisco. Moving right along here, in the middle, we have the 738 Tide Pod with the 40th anniversary sticker. This one came in from Nashville, and it'll be heading out delayed to Las Vegas. Now I'm getting catered right there. And then finally right here we have the 737-800 without winglets in the old livery. And this one came in from St. Louis, and it'll be heading out to Destin Fort Walton Beach. So a very nice country lineup here. Now we'll move on to the rest of Terminal 2. Alright, and then continuing on with the rest of the terminal in the back there, we have the Allegiant A319, which came in from Phoenix Mesa, and that will be making the turn, heading back out there. We have our next aircraft here, the Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Kenya Blue livery. These Southwest aircraft are based off of the aircraft that I saw on one of my recent spotting trips to MSP, where we saw both of these aircraft here. So this one came in from Chicago Midway, and this one will be heading out to Denver. And then also we have Maryland 1, of course. That was very cool to see these two aircraft right here. Of course, the Kenya Blues are getting rarer and rarer, and then also there's this Missouri one, sorry, is only one of a kind. So that's a successful spotting trip for Southwest Airlines. This one came in from Baltimore, and it will be heading out to Dallas Love Field. And the actual aircraft for this one was actually in the California 1 livery, so it's still a special livery for this actual aircraft, so that's very fitting right there. But yeah, that'll do it for our Terminal 2 right here. Looking very nice with a nice lineup of aircraft right here. Terminal 2 is really getting busy. When I remake MSP, which is something that I'm going to be doing here very shortly, I'll talk more about this at the end of the update, but I definitely want to try to add in a few more gates here at Terminal 2, maybe squeeze in one or two more, just to add in some more capacity, because we've always been just squeezing in as many aircraft as possible into Terminal 2, and 7 gates is clearly not enough here, so we're going to make, hopefully, one or two more, but we'll see on that when I remake it. So yeah, that'll do it for our Terminal 2 portion, and now we'll move on to Terminal 1 and knock off all the aircraft there. Now moving into the G concourse here at Terminal 1, we have in the back of the Delta 737-900. This one came in from San Diego. It'll be heading out to Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson, Citrus Aviation's airport. Then here we have the Delta A321, came in from Salt Lake City, and you'll be heading out to Orlando. And we're now moving on into our internationals here, our wide bodies. We have the Delta A330-300. The actual order was the 330-200. This one came in from London Heathrow, or Milo's Aviation's airport. You'll be heading back out there on the turn. If you'd like your own subscriber route, just comment it down below, as long as it's realistic. To any of my airports, I will include it in all my future airport updates. So yeah, just comment it down below. You could probably get an easy one here for MSP, but I would also do it for some of my smaller airports if it applies. So yeah, just comment it down there, and yeah, as long as it's realistic and your airport is on YouTube, then I can do that. So you can do that if you like, but I have one set up with Milo's Aviation. They have a great London Heathrow airport, and well, that is where this aircraft will be heading to. It's been a while since this buddy has appeared in an airport update. It is the KLM 7879 Dreamliner here. This one came in from Amsterdam's Schiphol, and he'll be heading back out there. I love saying it like that. I know it's wrong, but it's very fun to say Schiphol, Jay Foreman style, if you get that reference, but very nice model here. Of course, the KLM livery is absolutely beautiful, and great to have the Phoenix 7879 here It is a very nice model. It is pretty rare, but if you can find it, I recommend it. I know I also recommend NG's. They did a KLM 7810, and so both of them really good, but this one is the Phoenix version on the 789, and that is applicable here as they are flying those now. It was the A330 for last summer, and maybe maybe they just permanently upgraded it to a 7879 for this summer. Well, we'll see on that, because they did change it to A330, and I have that model, so both of them would be applicable if they flew to my fleet. So I guess we'll see what KLM does with that, but for now, 7879 looking absolutely gorgeous right here. And this is our only aircraft at the F concourse, but is this Delta A350-900 flaps down version by Gemini. This one arrived in yesterday from Seoul Incheon, and was towed over. It arrived into the G concourse and was towed over to the F concourse here, and it has just been sitting here all day, all night, and it has been waiting for its return flight back out to Seoul Incheon. So this one will be heading back out there. This will be departing in about an hour. So they're about to get this guy boarded up. It's probably going to take a while for them to get this aircraft boarded up. So they'll soon be heading out. Well, not really soon, but in about an hour, they'll be heading out on the return flight back out to Seoul. And on short final here is the Delta Team USA A330-900 Neo. So I did this in one of the last airport updates where I had a Sun Country 738 about to land. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of a late landing technically, because this is about where the, actually a little bit past maybe, trying to reference like where the 1,000-foot markers would be, but we'll just say that this aircraft is just landing right now. It is currently being stood up on the Riga airport table, but now that this is here, I can have planes arriving like this, so that's pretty cool. But this one is currently arriving in from Paris Charles de Gaulle, and it will be actually staying overnight at the airport, and then it will be heading out to Tokyo Haneda tomorrow in the morning of the 15th. So that's very interesting right there. The actual aircraft is just in the regular A330-900 Neo livery, but you know, I have the Team USA one, and I guess it adds a little bit of spice to the airport updates, as it is a pretty interesting livery here. Highly recommend you get it. It is pretty cheap, well, very cheap for a wide body from Gemini Jets. If you get it on the Delta Team USA store, I don't know how many they have left there, but I assume it's still in stock there. Yeah, it is a very nice model right here, and looking great here at MSP. But that'll conclude our international flights here. Now we'll move on to some much smaller aircraft. I guess I lied. We still have more international stuff to do. This one being the Air Canada Express CRJ 900. Now Air Canada has upgraded this flight to the E175 now, but I don't have a model to represent that, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I could bring in my A220, but that's too big, and the CRJ 900 is a little bit too small, but it's still, I think this is more comparable to the actual size. So I'm going to continue using the CRJ 900 until I get an E175, but I don't really think I will get an E175, honestly. At least that's not my top priority right now at the moment. But this aircraft is currently pushing back. It came in from Toronto Pearson and is now pushing back for Montreal Pierre Elliott Trudeau. And here we have the American Airlines 737-800. This one came in from Dallas-Fort Worth, Red River Aviation's airport, and it will be heading back out there. Just a simple turn here for this American 737-800. And it's good to see Spirit back in these airport updates. This is their A320 right here, which came in from Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson. It will be heading back out there on the turn, once again, at Citrus Aviation's airport. I do plan on getting the Gemini Jets future release, the Spirit A320 Neo, as well as the Air Wisconsin CRJ 200. Those are the two models from there that I do definitely plan on getting, but should be a very nice model right there. And the A320 right here, looking very good once again here. This one has been a workhorse at MSP, being only one of two Spirit models that I have. So This one has been very nice here, and glad to add the A320neo once that gets eventually released by Gemini, which maybe by the time you're watching this video it has been, because the day after I'm recording this, Gemini will be unveiling their newest release set, which is very exciting. And now we have a duo of aircraft here in the D concourse, beginning with the Delta A321 in the thank you livery, which came in from Las Vegas. Harry Reid will be heading out to Boston Logan. And then we have the A319 as well, and this one came in from Nashville, and it will be heading out to Chicago O'Hare. Alright, now moving into the C concourse, beginning here at Charlie 1 with this Delta 737-900. This is the Gemini Jet version. This one came in from San Francisco, and it will be heading out later to New Orleans. And now just taxiing in right here, we have the Delta A220-100 filling in for its the aircraft that is replacing, which is the 717. I don't have a 717 model, but I might just get the one that West Coast Diecast has, because they got one of those in, and I kind of need a Delta 717. It's only going to be good for like a few years, but we do get plenty 717s here at MSP and at my other airports, so it might just be worth investing in that one, where I can get it for a semi-decent price without paying a super exorbitant amount for it. But here we have the A220-100, which is currently taxiing in from Kansas City, and you'll later be heading out to Milwaukee. Right here, we have the Delta Connection UN-70, filling in for UN-75 with the enhanced winglets. Where is that model? Gemini Jets? Maybe it was released. I kind of doubt it. This one came in from Oklahoma City, operated by SkyWest, and it will later be making the service out to Louisville. And now we'll move into the RJ gates, where we have all in the A concourse, we have a massive lineup of RJs here. We'll begin on the far right, where we have the Delta Connection CRJ 200. This is in the old Comair livery, but I ran out of CRJ 200s, so I'll be discussing more about the aircraft as we end the update. But this one came in from Hibbing, and it'll be heading out to International Falls. Then in the middle here, we have the CRJ 900. This is the I think it's the second release by Gemini Jets. This is the 2022 release. Was it August? No, not August. It was like June of 2022, I want to say. Something like that. But this is the newer one, operated by SkyWest once again. And this one came in from Iron Mountain. And it will be heading out, just back out there on the turn. I know I said mountain so weird, but there you go for that one. And then finally on the far left, we have the CRJ 700. We're getting more and more of these here at MSP. This one operated by Endeavor, and this one came in from Fargo, and this one will be heading out to Madison-Dane County, which is very interesting to see. It is another one of my airports, and I did notice the CRJ 700 starting to come in, so yeah, I will be discussing more on the CRJ situation going on right now at MSP, and we'll get right onto that in a minute here, but we'll first finish up our last three aircraft here in the update. Alright, and here we go for our final three RJs here. We have on the far right side of your screen, we have the CRJ 200. Once again, SkyWest operated, came in from Bemidji, and you'll be heading out to Sault Ste. Marie. In the middle here, now you may have not even known that I had this aircraft in my fleet. It has not been shown in a long time, to say the least. As we haven't been seeing many CRJ 700s here, but we have been seeing more of them. And here is my Shapeways Custom Delta Connection CRJ 700. This is operated by SkyWest, and it came in from Chicago Midway, and it'll be heading out to Rochester, Minnesota. And then finally here we have, of course, the beloved CRJ 900. Just an absolute beauty right here. This one ironically came in from Madison. I was just saying that we were getting CRJ 700s there, and here's the CRJ 900, which we've been getting from Madison for forever. And this will be heading out to Fargo. So I guess both. I guess it's doing the reciprocal of the CRJ 700 that's kind of off to your screen there on the right, that we just covered, is doing the reciprocal of that one. So that's pretty interesting right there. But yes, that'll do it here for the airport updates, but I did have some things to discuss. One of them being that Endeavour Air retired their CRJ 200s. That's a pretty big deal. So we will only see CRJ 200s for SkyWest now, and they are going to be phased out of Delta's fleet this summer. So we're getting down to the end of these CRJ 200s, which is kind of bittersweet, because it's bitter in the fact that these aircraft are, I think they kind of look cool, but obviously for the passenger experience, they're not the best. But they've been an integral part here at MSP for the last 2-3 decades. It's kind of too bad to see them go, but also it is better for the passengers, and they are aging in Delta's fleet there with their regional providers. So yeah, those will be going by this summer, which is pretty crazy to think about, because they've been here at MSP as long as I can remember. They've been a big part of the flights here, whether that be a good thing or not. And so with all the CRJ 700s that we're seeing now, that we are starting to get we're starting to replace the CRJ 200 routes with CRJ 700s, 900s, and a lot of new UN75s. So yeah, we're getting some aircraft upgrades here on a lot of these routes to larger RJs. None of them really moving up to mainline, but we are getting some larger RJs, and of course with the CRJ 200 going away, I will probably have to invest in another CRJ 700 for the fleet, as this, I mean, there'll be 3 of my RJs, which currently I have a pretty good collection of Delta RJs, but maybe not once the CRJ 200 gets retired. If Gemini does release the Delta Connection UN75, I mean, that would be, I would probably get 1, maybe 2 of those. Definitely 1, maybe 2 though, depending on how prevalent they're going to be here at MSP. Because I already have the Shapeways Custom UN75 for Delta Connection, and I have the Herpa one that I showed in this airport update. But we'll see. I definitely plan on getting another CRJ 700 though, just to add in some reinforcement for these RJs as once the CRJ 200s get retired. But that will be for later on in the summer. And speaking of later on in the summer, which is actually not too far off right now, only a few more weeks, this is probably the second to last MSP airport update before I will rip this one up and put on some new paper, and we'll make a new MSP airport. Yes, this June I will be remaking the airport, making it a whole lot better, because it's not, compared to my other airports, this one's not looking too hot anymore. When I first made it, it was probably the best one that I've ever made, but now it is pretty bad. So my airport skills have definitely improved over the past year, and I only did make this like November of 2021, so it's not too old, but it is definitely aged not very well. It's definitely not fine wine. It's more like cheap champagne. So we're gonna redo this airport, and it's gonna look a whole lot better. Hopefully, I'm gonna add, hopefully, like, I don't know how many. We're gonna try to add some more gates in. Just that honestly might not be a great thing, because that'll mean more empty gates, and it's been pretty empty here just because I don't have all the models that I need. Like, I don't have we get just a ton of 737-900s and a ton of A321s, and I have 2 for each, but I kind of need some more of those, so I do plan on getting some more Delta models once they upgrade the airport. And so that's my summer plans basically for MSP, but it's going to get a lot better. We're going to make MSP a whole lot better. Terminal 2 is going to get some extra reinforcement with their gates. I'm going to try to move over the terminal a little bit and give some more breathing room to the other side, because it's getting pretty compact, like over there with the internationals, and then Terminal 2, it is really compact over there, so I'm going to try to improve that. Maybe add, I'm probably going to get rid of a few of these A gates and then add, like, maybe make all of this the C gates and then start the A gates here, because in reality the C concourse is the biggest one, and I only have 5 gates representing it here, but I'll probably, I didn't design the gates very well, so I could probably squeeze in another gate there for my existing C concourse. There's going to be a lot of upgrades, but I'm very excited for it. This airport is going to look a whole lot better. I hope it should look a whole lot better, because I'm going to be using Posca paint pens. It won't, like some of these lines you can barely see anymore, thanks to it like being sitting out in the sun for a while. So this should look a whole lot better, and I'm really excited for it. So we'll have this airport update and probably one more, and then it might go dormant for like 2 months. So I'm just gonna prepare you for that. I hope to get it done by the end of June, but that might not be possible. And then I'm going to do something in July. I almost just spoiled it, but I'm gonna share that at a later time. So those are the plans, basically. So that's pretty much it for this airport update, and that's pretty much all you need to know for the news. But yeah, enjoy these MSP airport updates while you have them, because they might be going away for a while after the beginning of June here. But I will get in WestJet's inaugural before I tear up the airport. But that'll do it for this MSP airport update. Thank you all for checking it out, and I will see you tomorrow. And as always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.